Comics Plus, what is going on? My name is Akasan.
What's up, Super Crew? Good to see you again. DC-san.
He's back.
What's up, peoples?
We're in the Millennium Falcon, and he's hungry. Anyways, we're about to watch the latest episode of Obi-Wan. DC-san, you didn't get a chance to record your reactions for part 1 and part 2, but in short, what did you think?
In short, I will say that I enjoyed it for what it is so far. Interested to see what they do. I like the dynamic between Uncle Owen and Obi-Wan, because that actually feels real, situation-wise.
True.
Reva's character, I think she's doing a good job with. She's doing a good job with what she's been given.
Exactly.
But really have no idea where to go with her character now. But I am interested in seeing what they do with it.
I think it takes some development, and then unfortunately, again, I've been spoiled myself. I've said it several times. Like I've been spoiled by a fantastic performance from Trilla in Fallen Order, because and so unfortunately, I feel like it's a little bit of like rinse, wash, and repeat sort of thing. We're gonna see when we get more.
But most of Star Wars is that
right? Well, and that also bothers me as well. But you know, at least Trilla was a very intimidating black woman being an inquisitor. You know, I'm just kind of seeing Reva as kind of like the discount version of her. So we shall see if it's okay. It's just a force. It's the dark city.
That's Reva.
That's Reva. Like, what are you saying? So we'll see if they can give me something a little different. So that it's been an interesting week with the Star Wars celebration. For me personally, a lot of it I feel, as I said, like kind of rinse, wash, and repeat. But at the same time, the one thing I wanted from the Star Wars celebration was the thing that we didn't get, that only the fans got, rightfully so, and that was the trailer or sneak peek of the Mandalorian season 3. That's the only one I feel like they're going somewhere new with something new, opposed to doing kind of prequel type
because it does. I'll say, to reiterate on what you're mentioning, there are several projects that are coming out that I'll say are in the prequel mode or the prequel universe, because obviously you have Obi-Wan, you have Andor, you have the Tales of the Jedi, which seem to be partially based on Qui-Gon.
Okay.
So cool. It's like, but I am interested in seeing that, because there's parts of Qui-Gon I'd like to see. That, you know, this not just in comic book form, and because I think his character was quite interesting, but you don't get much time with him. As far as the TV show itself, the nods, homages, and the look backs to the original trilogy is always going to have a special place for me, because
production value is really good. I think that's really good.
I will say, pacing wise, it does feel a little bit like the Boba Fett. No, the Boba Fett series. The first couple episodes were it felt a little slow paced, but there's a reason for that. After watching it and going back, it's like because they're trying to pace it similar to like an old samurai story, and so those tend to have a slower storytelling. Not that it's good or bad, but it is different. So I'll tell you what I think after this next episode.
Right. Well,
if
let's
the pacing
see,
picks up, or if it stays about the same.
Because I would hate for them to do that again. Like I have a big thing about, and again with a lot of the Disney Plus shows, I'm just like, look, the Lone Wolf and Cub idea worked well with Mandalorian, but I don't need every show to have a kid in there taking care of a kid. Now with Obi-Wan, it might be a little bit different, and it helps build the backbone of the lore, because it does make, now it starts to make a lot more sense of why Leia, I'm talking about in the first episode 4, why Leia would even call upon Obi-Wan that in that dire need. Now we have more of a better understanding, because they do kind of know each other, and
because he was one of the main people that constantly helped out her father. So it's like Bail Organa, for those I'm talking about. So that makes sense. But also, just giving us more of Leia makes me a bit happy, because story-wise, we've always gotten more of Anakin and Luke, and not complaining, because I do love that, but it's like having anything to deal with Leia as far as her story and things that happened during her lifetime before episode 4 is interesting to me, because you could do a lot with
That's a good point. No, that's a very good point. I personally would love to just I would love
the chase scenes were a little light, though.
Like, I would love to see Vader and Obi-Wan really have that one, that another rematch or another conversation.
It has
coming, right?
Well, it has to happen
coming.
because otherwise, canonically, the dialogue wouldn't make any sense between him and Vader when they meet in episode 4.
Right.
Because it's like, we meet again, da-da-da. Unless, they see each other through, holograms and talk to each other from across the desert.
It'll be in, but
so it's like something has to happen.
And I agree with you because,
but it's stalemate.
Right, but I agree with you because I feel like the way they've been promoting it this entire time, they're like, Disney has not been shy of like, I'm so glad that they were able to keep the plot of Leia such a secret, but they have not been shy about advertising Darth Vader. So we're definitely getting him in here. To what extent, I don't know. Now the Inquisitors themselves, I hope they turn it up a notch, because right now they're looking like putties or something.
Well, they're looking wow, like you went back to the Power Ranger.
They're looking like the henchmen, like Goldar and like
that's harsh. That's harsh.
I'm just saying, and at the time Goldar was dope, but there's a lot of dialogue and the way they kind of walk around. I'm just like, okay, y'all just are fighting each other. Meh. All right.
Yeah. So one of the things that I find interesting is that with the Inquisitors, yes, there's supposed to be these imposing forces of nature that people are supposed to be afraid of. And it feels like some people are like, well, how come Obi-Wan doesn't know these things about Anakin, da-da-da? And I'm like, look, he has basically...
Why would he? Yeah.
He put himself out away from all that kind of stuff on purpose because he doesn't want to be found. Yeah. So I could see him not keeping tabs, because keeping tabs means he has to go to areas that would keep him exposed. Yeah. So I could see him not knowing. That's okay. But the Inquisitors being here, coming in the way that they are, I feel like since this is technically the Outer Rim, no one's really had any dealings with them, so they don't really know what to expect. That's why they're like, okay, they're kind of scary, they got license, but we don't know what to do with these people until something actually happens, and that's when Reva takes hands and throws knives.
Do you think Obi? I think no, but do you think, like Luke, did Obi cut himself off from the Force at any time?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that Obi-Wan had cut himself off from the Force on purpose, because you have people like Reva's character that can sense other Force-sensitive people.
But is it?
And being able to do that means you're keeping yourself exposed. It's not good.
So I thought that. So here's the thing. I thought that, and I was like, okay, maybe. And because even when he was trying to grab, he's like, oh man, I still got it. But one of the things I was
But he struggled. He struggled because he hasn't used it in so long.
Right. But one of the things is like, I was also a little wondering, because at the end of episode 3, the whole thing was like, Yoda was like, yeah, I want to send you away, but we're going to teach you how to
talk with your old master.
So, right. Yeah. So that part I was like, whoa, shouldn't he still be some form of training or doing something yet?
You would think that he
10 years,
should,
right?
But I could also see him cutting himself off because he doesn't want to be exposed, so he puts it behind him and forces himself not to actually study like he's supposed to be doing. Because it's like, if I don't do it, no one sees me as a Jedi. I don't have a need for it.
I hope they address that. Yeah.
And then what I can tell you, my personal thoughts on it, what's going to happen is he's going to get to a point where he feels beaten, worn down, nowhere to go, and he'll be forced to open back up, which is what I think we're kind of getting to now. And he'll have to communicate and find a way to communicate.
Because I'm trying to remember, I know Qui-Gon's in Rebels for a minute. Was he communicating with Obi at that time, or was he talking to Ezra?
Technically, at that time, he should be. Hold on.
I can't remember, because I remember
he should be able to. At that time, he should be able to communicate with him.
With Obi.
Yeah,
but I don't know,
because that would technically be after this.
No, but I mean, he had a conversation with somebody. I just don't know who that conversation was with. Either it was Ahsoka, Ezra, or Obi.
I want to say it was either Ezra or Ahsoka.
I think it's,
but I don't remember. It's been a while, so let us know down in the comments below.
And we think the Imperial Master, Grand Inquisitor.
Oh, I think he's still alive, because just spoiler. For his type of alien being, they have 2 stomachs. So him getting impaled in one, he's probably going to heal it.
Okay.
Back to tank, baby.
And then...
and because he's technically in Rebels, so it's like, unless he's got a twin running around.
There was one thing about Never mind. I answered because I was like, okay, he's cutting himself off from the Force. He's telling Jedi to run, live a normal life or whatever. But then at the same time, he's so focused on making sure he trains Luke, but because Luke is the chosen one.
But is he focused on training Luke, or is he focused on protecting Luke? And if Luke is showing signs of Force sensitivity, making sure that Owen or himself keeps him safe by trying to keep him from using it. If he does use it, it's got to be secluded, because otherwise somebody finds out, then
do you think, well, now this is I guess the other question is is
because
Obi's,
Leia definitely showed Force sensitivity, reading minds and such.
Do you think Obi's mentality right now is under the assumption that Luke is the chosen one?
Luke being the chosen one, I don't think that
right.
He's under the assumption that Luke is the chosen one. I think he's under the assumption that one of the two, they're both equally important, but one of the two has to be protected. And his promise was to protect Luke, which is why he's not forcefully like, oh, well, I need to take care of Leia also. The old Obi-Wan would have.
Right, but okay. So
younger.
Revenge, but I guess explain something to me here, because it's been a lot. Like I've only seen these movies like twice.
Because for him, the chosen one wouldn't be Luke; it'd be Anakin.
Right, I remember that part. He was disrupted by all that. But why did Yoda and everybody decide to split the kids up and watch them?
Because you have a better chance of survival if they're split.
But why is
harder
it?
To find.
But why is it important? Why were those kids important?
Because,
we know why.
Because they're Anakin's children. So if one of them tends to be, because you have a 50-50 chance of one of them being the chosen one, and not knowing which one it is, you split them, because if Vader finds them, Palpatine finds them, then they could be turned to the dark side.
I get this, but what I'm saying is that that's us knowing that.
No, but that's the logic behind it. You separate them.
So Yoda and so Yoda, both Yoda. I'm assuming Yoda only, because I don't think Obi-Wan.
Basically, the decision was made between Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Bail Organa.
Correct.
Bail Organa and his wife wanted kids, and it was a perfect chance because no one would bat an eye at them adopting. Because they would just see her as being like, an adopted daughter. Because Palpatine only thought that there was only a son.
No, I get it. What I'm trying to say here is the fact that Anakin was always assumed to be the chosen one.
Yes.
That didn't work out.
No, it did work out.
What?
It did. At the end,
he was still the chosen one.
At the end, yes. At the end of Return of the Jedi, what did he do? He threw Palpatine over and killed him, and then he brought balance back to the Force. That was why he became, when he became a Force ghost, he was Jedi.
And so Luke is not the chosen one.
No.
Luke is just the best, the most powerful Jedi.
He's badass, but so is Leia. The downside is Leia didn't get to train the same way that Luke did. That's why the potential is different.
But I guess the point I'm trying to say is they chose to protect the kids only out of respect for Anakin
and Padme.
Okay, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Not because they were like, oh damn, eventually one of these kids are going to bring balance to the Force.
No, it's not a matter of that one of them going to bring balance to the Force. It's a matter of one, if not both of them, could end up being Force sensitive and being turned against Galaxy.
Okay, got it. That's the main thing. Okay, that's like, it's getting all kind of scrambled and shit. But yeah, I get it. No, like
welcome to the story.
No, because my takeaway from Revenge of the Sith was the fact that it's like, okay, they loved both Anakin and Padme.
Yep.
And they were just like, look, she's got kids. We, out of respect, we gotta put them into hiding.
Yeah.
Just like all the other Force-sensitive kids out there.
But that is correct. Right. They needed to hide them to protect them from being killed off or used.
Though, if I recall, in Clone Wars or Rebels, Yoda had an inkling that one of them, that Luke, there was something special about Luke and Leia anyways, even before they were born. I specifically remember Yoda was going through some sort of like acid trip or something, and he saw futures of himself.
He saw
it was a very interesting thing. So he kind of also knew something was happening down the line as well.
Yeah, but one of the things that Yoda explained to that he explained to Anakin is like being able to sense the future and see the future. It's still unclear.
Correct.
They are potential futures.
Correct.
That's why he told Anakin not to dwell on it.
Right.
But once Anakin basically, got chopped up, he actually lost that connection. So he doesn't have those precognitions anymore. So he can't see the future, even his own. So as some people joke, so he couldn't see his own demise.
Well,
apparently not.
I mean, he saw a version.
He saw a version,
yeah, but he not the one that ended up that way, and that's what.
Drop him like his heart.
I mean,
sorry.
No, I mean Anakin's. I like his story. I like his story a lot more than I like Luke's story.
And Anakin is actually one of my all-time favorite characters because he's so complex. Yeah. Because he's so. If you just the simple thing is you look at him as being just a normal guy, and he's going out to do what? Protect his family, do right by his friends, and so on and so forth. And he gets manipulated by someone much older than him, who's a mentor, unfortunately. And he's troubled because he's had loss. He stops being Anakin. Literally. He stops being Anakin when he decides to murder everybody in the Tusken Village. From that point on, he's no longer Anakin.
When he gets a school shooter on. Got
it. Yeah. He's no longer Anakin. He is a different person. So it's like he killed himself off.
Yeah.
But it's easy to understand that because it's like, look, you were dealt a really difficult blow to someone that was important to you in a horrible way. Killing women and children is not the answer, but understand his character being angry.
This is me being reasonable. His full reaction is available on Patreon. It's been a while for him to be in here because I know you wanted to talk about all the Star Wars stuff. And,
sorry for that long explanation and things, but thank you. I appreciate your time.
Episode 3, the Obi-Wan series.
Starts now.
I will take Kenobi in myself.
I really liked his acting.
Anyone asks, you're my daughter.
Granddaughter, maybe.
What?
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Granddaughter, maybe.
I want to be in Star Wars so bad, man.
What?
I want to be in Star Wars so bad.
Make it happen.
Trying.
There you go.
You guys feel free to retweet what I posted. Anything.
He did tweet some stuff.
I did.
He's trying to be in there.
Revo?
Dope! Let's go! Wow.
Obi-Wan, promise me you will train the boy.
You're... No. And just so you guys know, it's actually going back and forth in the headphones. Pretty cool.
Awesome. What I like is that you never really see this outside of comic books.
Give us the sound, baby.
He's coming, Master.
Nice. Oh, he's on Mustafar,
yeah,
right?
that's his castle.
Nice!
Must be far.
Nice! Looks like Canada.
I know what it is you seek.
Yo, this is a dope. Say what you will, but
this is how you.
The boy's got some nice design there.
Right. Can I make
no wonder Kylo Stando.
Can I make my studio look like that?
Yep. That. Next episode, changing it up.
Right.
The Force. What does it feel like?
He's like, so this is what Qui-Gon was going through with Anakin. Like, fuck these kids, man. I wonder if Obi-Wan stinks. I'm just wondering. He looked like a homeless man. I wonder if he smells like one.
So, like, he's playing the part by being funky, too?
I'm just... No, I mean...
Are we going to come across the Mandalorian?
It kind of looks like... No. Yeah, but you're right. It kind of looks like where Boba Fett and them met for the first time.
That music tone.
Van Nuys. They're in Encino right now. Yep, they're basically in Lancaster right now. Cool.
I was thinking more like Honolulu, but yeah, that works.
Lancaster. Before the fire.
I will get what I deserve.
Yeah,
Third sister. And so will you.
I think my thing with her is she's just kind of a cute face. Like
she's
really easy on the eyes.
She comes off too attractive for the role.
Yeah. Like
she's got to be roughed up a bit or have some scars or something.
It's not necessarily that. I just don't see her like that angry when
that, or if they made her in prosthetics like an alien life form, it would come out different.
I don't know, but she's not really intimidating. She doesn't look scary, so I'm like, oh, okay, you seem kind of cool. Fine. Yeah.
Like, oh, she's like, what's up, girl? You need a hug?
She just pull something from Queen's Gambit and start calling everybody Space Cracker.
Talk.
Got it.
Hey there, I'm Freck.
Father, aren't you going to say hello?
That voice sound familiar. It's gonna bug me.
I think it's Seth Green.
Don't worry, I'll get you the port.
Not Seth Green.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Are you sure he's even on this planet?
They know what they're doing, Leia.
Fuck!
You called her Leia. I thought her name was Luma.
Sometimes when I look at Luma, I see her mother's face.
Yo, I was like, yo, bro. Oh, we fucking up these missions, bro. Come on, General Kenobi. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Like
Isn't it a Jedi temple?
Look like one.
Yeah.
Are you my real father?
I remember a baby.
A baby?
Yes, I think I had a brother.
Is there something more to that? Shit. Oh, shit. Nice. Oh!
Let her go.
Dope.
Come on.
Female stormtrooper?
They'll have sent a transmission.
I know I remember her from.
I'll take you
TV
the
show
rest of the
called
way.
Luther. She plays his wife.
They get turned into.
Quinlan was here.
Yeah.
Quinlan Voss?
He helps now and again. Smuggling younglings.
Badass.
What does it say?
Was he the long black-haired one?
Yep.
That was kind of like a surfer.
With the-
Yeah. And he was blind, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Gives me a faster draw.
Got dark quick.
Oh shit.
Going to pull Obi-Wan out.
Oh!
Is he dragging her? Yeah.
What the fuck?
To sweep the town. Search for others.
Now I'm like, who's more annoying? Her? Or him? Because right now, he's annoying as hell. Dude, shut up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Catch the dark backhand.
He's great. This dialogue is fantastic.
Sweep this dialogue.
Oh!
Really?
Even Vader was confused, like, wait, what?
Not run.
Hey.
What have you become?
I am what you made me.
Sit there and try and stop.
Oh, shit.
The years have made you weak.
Yo, Vader ain't.
You should have killed me when you had the chance.
Oh, wow. Oh!
To the fire.
Toasty!
Alright. And Vader's gonna let the roller walk away?
Right? Bro, you literally was grabbing motherfuckers. Like,
Right.
it just crushed this dude.
I guess he's trying to let him suffer slowly.
I guess?
I'll take you from here.
Oh, no. Okay.
Sounded
they used somebody else. Yeah, but no, that was like, I was like, whoever was doing it was doing a really good job. But you know, the last time James Earl Jones used his voice, I was a little worried because you know he's like 91 now. I'm like, unless they're having somebody like he's getting the credit, you know, but somebody else.
That, or you know, like other films and things, you have stock lines and things that you
I was
say,
thinking about that.
It's on file.
Because I could have sworn that one line, like you're getting older or something like that, it's almost exactly from the first Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So I was kind of surprised about that. So unless it's very possible that they did just like the Mandalorian,
Remastered his voice.
and are they using AI, which is a little more easier to do with Darth Vader because he has the same tone the entire time.
Right.
So you know, opposed to Luke Skywalker, because
then you have to worry about his age and influx. In his
because
voice and
like,
stuff.
I would have I would if they not dragged, but if they got James Earl Jones to do the voice at his age right now, I would have been like, dude, let this man just chill, like, because you know,
he could have been chilling at home. They just
maybe,
brought the equipment.
No, maybe
like,
you know,
could you see these lines, sir?
I mean, you don't hear much from him recently, but you know, like I was really worried when the Lion King remake. You know, he came back and he
came back and did the voice.
But he sounded tired, really tired. And then when I saw him in Coming to America 2 or whatever the sequel, I was like, woof. But he still seemed like he was kind of chipper at least, but he was also kind of like, I think I'll just die now.
Was the second follow-up any good? Coming to America 2?
It was
home movie.
It was alright. But it was just one of those things I was like, man, this is kind of eerie. Him having his own funeral and such. In the movie, and I was like,
that's something I never want to do because it feels like it's foreboding.
But I also get it. No. What I'm trying to say is, so spoiler for the sequel to Come to America, he knew he was dying, and he was like, oh, and he wanted to make sure that his family. He was like, you know what? Let's have the funeral right now. I would like to see it. So he's up here, and so he's actually watching people give a procession of, and they're giving all these lines. He's like happy, and while the music is going, he's just like, and he dies in the movie, and I'm like, wow, okay, that was a little weird.
That's dark,
right? But anyways, I'm glad that they brought. I'm sure I can almost guarantee that. When the season is over, they're gonna be like, okay, this is how we recreated Darth Vader's voice. You know, and then we added in because you
know, galleries, because like on Disney Plus, when you go into galleries in the Star Wars section, it's changed.
Okay.
So I thought that for those that may not know, when Mandalorian season 1 had launched, they had a section called galleries. It was 6 episodes, and basically each episode was dedicated to each director that directed each episode. I was like, wow, I like that concept. I like that they had the table talk of all the directors, the inspirations, and why they took that direction for their episodes, whatever. I like that. I thought that was really well done and interesting to see behind the scenes. But then they updated it. That's no longer there at all. Now it's Boba Fett galleries.
Okay.
Like the original section's no longer there. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. So I'm like, I'm hoping that it's archived somewhere so we could actually, because I actually like to see that kind of stuff, and because I'd like to take it to compare with some of the other episodes within the series, like this. I like this episode. This pace-wise it picked up. It also made me feel like, okay, so Leia's been captured again, or potentially captured again. If she's not captured again, she's right there. I think Reva is.
There's something more to her.
Yeah, Reva is
next episode.
She's not gonna follow Vader.
Right. Next episode, we better get an answer. Like, what is the deal with her? Because she's killing.
But I'm kind of glad that she didn't get that answered in this episode.
Fair enough.
Because it feel like, as much as I wanted, also too soon. So then to make the previous episode feel a bit more forced. So I'm glad they didn't do that. I'm glad it was more about Vader and other stuff, and Obi-Wan, you know, trying to come to grips with the information he just got and feeling like he can't compete because he's been so shut off. Because I don't look at it as an age thing. I look at it more of he spent this past decade being inactive.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, okay.
And he knew that. I mean, he said that in, I believe, the first episode. He's like, I'm not the person I once was.
Yeah.
You know, he's like...
So I'm okay with that. And I think that also works well storytelling-wise because it makes it easier for his character to at least survive a certain point going against a Vader who's toying with him.
You think that was Hayden as well? In the suit?
Yeah, it's Hayden in the suit.
With some stilts.
And the way he's walking, it's like, yeah, this is kind of cool. I like how the lights and things were a little updated. He did look more menacing. It is weird that he didn't, force choke or crush the loading droid, but at the same time, I'm also kind of happy because if he did, then it's like, where do you go from here? Because the idea was that he hurts Obi-Wan, brings him back to torture, and takes his time with him.
I'm wondering if he got a little frazzled and had visions of Mustafar before he built up, because droids were around that
at this time, nah. I think he's perfectly fine. Because it's been 10 years, so I don't think he's suffering from any flashbacks, post-traumatic stress, anything like that.
I don't know.
I don't think that he is. If
that's
he
a good
is,
point. I mean,
maybe because he saw Obi-Wan.
Guys, let us know what you guys think. What if? Why did Vader pause like that? Why did he just not go through with that?
Potentially to take his time, or maybe he did feel a little something like,
I feel.
I thought Kenobi would be more of a challenge, and he's not. Now what do I do?
Right, because that's also another thing, because he looked at one of the stormtroopers, was like, bring him to me, opposed to him doing it all himself. Like
never meet your heroes kind of thing.
Never meet your enemy.
This was disappointing.
right.
I expected more of a fight from you.
Very true. It'll be very interesting how, if that's going to be the one and only rematch that we get, basically. And if they're going to go ahead and explain some of that, sort of fan-splain it to other people. Because, again, like The Last Jedi, some people have this sort of image that, like, Obi-Wan is just supposed to come in there and just be, like, so badass again. Just like Luke was supposed to, Yeah, exactly. And, like, I even saw people after the first episode talking about how they're like, yo, when Obi ignites his lightsaber, the crowd's gonna go wild, and he'll be like doing this thing,
because he's doing, basically it's a modification of the Wushu drop pose.
Okay, or something like that. People were like, it's gonna be amazing, but
it's technically not like this. It's like this.
He popped his lightsaber out, and that was it. It was gonna, and then it was like Vader was like one-handed.
Yeah, but something that I kind of liked about that though, considering how dynamic the lightsaber duels were in the prequels. True. Seeing this felt more like the first episode.
I agree.
Fourth. Yeah. I New Hope. It felt more in tune with that. Even though Vader's toying with him, it felt more of that stilted, just power kind of thing. So I'm okay with that.
Which that also leads me to believe a few things about that, is in the sense of like, because I've always been wondering about that. I don't know if you remember, but a few years ago we watched the I forgot what it was called, but it was something remastered, where some fans redid the Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, they did the Obi-Wan and
to make it look like more
Vader fight.
Yeah, so more modernized and everything.
Modernized, and I thought it was cool.
Yeah, and I thought that was kind of cool, but like you said, it's kind. And I've been wondering if Disney is ever gonna kind of address that in a sense of like, okay, by the end of Obi-Wan, we're going to see a remake of that particular scene again, where they're all fighting at their top-notch speed. But I think we got our answer, like you just said, is that they're essentially dwindling. With Obi-Wan's excuses, it's been 10 years and he's been inactive. Darth Vader, he just literally doesn't have to anymore.
No, he doesn't have to, but also a lot of the conversation dealing with, because he had his appendages cut off.
Yeah.
And because with his suit, I'm like, all right, that's fine. So him moving the way he does, he's not as fluid as he used to be because of all the burns,
but
and
he's
tissue
tanky,
stuff like that.
You know, he's
tanky.
He's very tanky. I mean,
yeah, and he should be, because I'm like this. If he's doing all this flashy stuff like that, and it's like, hold up a second, what accident does he have? Because if he were to be super flashy, he'd have to have some type of accident again, so it would match what happens from there after.
Makes sense. I mean, we have, and it's interesting enough that we have Rebels have kind of played around with him, and some people have worked around with, in a sense where he's still tanky, but
he's more fluid.
Yeah, and probably the best example has been Ahsoka
and him.
Yeah, that's about it.
That was heartbreaking.
In Fallen Order, he's still you're just running. You're just trying to survive. So it's very interesting how they try to keep Darth Vader modern. The official Darth Vader fights and things like that. They keep it modern, but at the same time, they still keep it classic. It's a very interesting situation.
I'm liking the balance of it so far.
Yeah.
Also, because if it was super flashy, it'd feel like a bit too much of a nod to his fight with Obi-Wan or Mustafar, and I don't want
fair
that.
enough.
So,
fair enough.
So far, so good.
Okay. And I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, Darth Vader was... I think the best part about this entire episode I liked was just the rebuilding of him. Or him coming out of that tank and just, like, that was
he actually looked like a character that's being suited up for Warhammer. So I like the break. Like, dude, the most recent video for it looks a lot like this, where you actually see the parts being drilled into the character. Like that. It's like, right. So cool.
Well, there you go, guys. Full reaction is available on Patreon. Make sure you join us later. We also have The Boys coming up in 2 days. Oh boy. Yep. Oh boy. Yep. Our schedules are getting really screwy recently. And of course,
just keep it on Wednesday, people. It's not that hard. Wednesday meaning for us.
Thank. I mean, what's going? Well, look. Let's put it. The good news is at least with Disney, bad for some people, but Disney is going to be doing the Marvel and Star Wars drops on Wednesday, same time, which is good for us.
Oh, the same day, but not the same time.
No, same time. I'm assuming it's.
Simultaneous. So someone that's interested in Marvel, they have it. Someone that's interested in Star Wars, they have it. Okay. I'm not.
Some people
as long as it's the same day, I'm okay.
Some people are not a big fan of that, but I understand because look, let's be real. An Obi-Wan fan is probably not there might be some crossover, but Obi-Wan competing with Miss Marvel at the same time, I don't think it's going to be that big of a conflict of interest, She-Hulk and whatever Star Wars is coming. Yes, exactly, right? But I don't think we don't have to worry about it too much. The Boys and Obi-Wan, that's a closer compromise to deal with there, I would say. So, no worries.
I'm glad we don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.